I always get asked, where is America in the Bible? Or some say America is not in the Bible. Look, I'm simply a student of scripture, and I'm going to give you guys my insight of where in the Bible it says where America is at. Now, I could be completely wrong, and that's completely fine. If I'm completely wrong, show me in scripture. I'm just going to show you where America is within the scriptures, within the Bible. Take you guys all the way to Egypt, because that's actually when America is actually really formed by God. Let me explain it. So when Joseph is told that his father is about to die, Israel, he takes his two children with him to be blessed. Now, this is not a blessing of salvation. This is a blessing of protection and financial and just of success. So Israel blesses Ephraim and Manasseh. Ephraim is the younger and Manasseh is the older. He crosses his arm and gives a bigger blessing to Ephraim and a lesser blessing to Manasseh. But Israel mentions that he will be a great nation. Manasseh and Ephraim will be a multitude of nations. And he tells them that Joseph's sons are no longer his, that they are now Israel's sons. And to prove this, when Israel left Egypt to the land of Canaan that God had promised them they're going to have for everlasting, they get a piece of property in all of Israel. However, as time goes by, Israel gets split into two countries, the kingdom of Israel and the kingdom of Judea. So with time, because of their unbelief, their unfaithfulness to God, sacrificing their children and practicing all these evil things from the land of Canaan, which God gave to them in the first place, the king of Syria took them hostage, basically, and exiled them to their land, to a river, far away from Israel. And to Judea, from the southern kingdom, King Nebuchadnezzar took them to Babylon. With time, we know that the Jews that lived in Babylon came back to Israel. However, the other 10 tribes never came back to Israel. That's what they call them, the 10 lost tribes. They were scattered throughout the entire world. A lot of people don't know exactly where they are. However, there are signs, which takes us to Great Britain, which are known as the ancestor name as Anglo-Saxons, which means the sons of Isaac. Now, why is this important? It's very important because this is the only nation in the world that's known as Great Britain. We got our independence. America got its independence from Great Britain. That means at one time or another, Great Britain and America were technically brothers or the same country. But then we started with 13 colonies. And this is, again, very important. 13 colonies. When George Washington declared war against Britain in 1776. However, George Washington could not have done it without him, Solomon. He was the financial backer for America. This man died a poor man, penniless, and he was the richest man in all of America at that time. According to legend and tradition, George Washington honored him, Solomon, and he placed the Star of David in the dollar bill with the 13 colonies as basically as a symbol of solidarity and being basically the financial backer for America. Without him, George Washington would not have the financial means to separate against Great Britain and create the greatest country in the world, America, which we have the multitude of nations. Now, why is this important? America is the only country that's known as the United States of America, fulfilling Genesis 48:19, the multitude of nations, and fulfilling Genesis 48:19, that Manasseh, will also be great. The only country that's known as Great Britain, great, because of the promise. And would also like to add that Great Britain is the only nation that claims that they have the original throne of King David, the stone of which Solomon was pronounced king over Israel, and the same stone in which Jacob used as a pillow where he saw the stairs leading up to heaven. The second promise, the multitude of nations, America. So technically, America is Israel. That's why we're so blessed, because we technically inherited the promise that God had given to Jacob from Israel to Joseph. So that's where America's at in the Bible. However, we are the northern Israel. And that's why we're surrounded with a lot of Jewish people. The most powerful Jewish bankers are in America. The most powerful congressmen and senators are Jewish people of Jewish ethnic descent. Now, I'm not questioning their loyalty to America. I'm only pointing out where America is in the Bible. That is it. Now, I believe my studies have shown that, but again, I'm simply a student of Scripture. If I'm wrong, show me where I'm wrong in the Bible.